I'm whispering because it's 11:30 at night, but people show their their lack of regard for you, or rather their incapability to hold capacity for you, like their very limited capacity and how it affects you within interpersonal relationships in these smallest of ways. And it's the little small things that make it all the more heartbreaking, because they don't realize that it's as sinister as it is. Especially, like, I'm talking about people who are not consciously making these decisions, right? Do not consciously have malintent for you. But sorry y'all, that but there's like a sub layer of just like an incapability, like non-existent capacity to hold space for you at the level that you need. So I got gluten yesterday. I have celiac disease. This is like really, really hard for me to talk about. I don't know why. Things about my personal life are just really hard for me to talk about. So I got gluten yesterday, and it just, I'm just very disheartened. I'm just very disappointed because someone close to me was going to go get food and asked me if I wanted anything. Naturally, I don't really eat out a lot because gluten is in a lot of things, and also there's a lot of other foods that I can't eat. So I mostly cook at home, and it works for me. It's kept me like fairly safe or whatever. But French fries can be, right. But French fries can be safe in some situations. So I specifically said, go wherever it is that you want to go, get whatever it is that you want to get. If they have French fries on the menu and the French fries are fried in a separate fryer, then yes, I will take French fries. But I'm also like, obviously there's the implicit like understanding of even still like ask if their fries are gluten free, like, and also follow up with if they're, fried in a separate fryer. That is like implicit understanding to moi, but not to other people. But also I was like, I don't need the French fries. I don't need the French fries. French fries are not food. It was just gonna be a little snacky snack for me. So I was like, seriously, do not go out of your way to go get them. They come home, they present me with French fries from McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's, but I was gonna eat the French fries, like, right, like, whatever. And I don't eat McDonald's because I don't eat meat, right? I mean, eating McDonald's that's besides the point. I haven't eaten McDonald's since high school, but like that's besides the point. But I'll tear up some French fries, right? I'll tear up some French fries from just about anywhere, as long as they're, gluten free, celiac safe. So as I'm eating the fries, it like kind of occurs to me. I was like, look up and see if McDonald's fries are gluten free. They are in fact not gluten free. If you did not know that, they are not gluten free. I think some like meat derivative that's used within the French fries, and I could be butchering this, but whatever, like some sort of meat derivative in the French fry is wheat based. And I had already started like having like heart palpitations, and I had already started like not being able to breathe, because with celiac it's not like an actual allergy. It attacks the lining and like your small intestine, I believe, like the protein of it attacks that, and it has like other ramifications. But also because it's a meat derivative, that is the thing that really sent my system into like shock. So I've been down for the count all day. Like I took an extra strength Benadryl this morning, and I slept for like 12 hours today. And even when I went and like asked the person, because like I had looked it up, but I specifically was asked because I wanted to know, like, I cared. I was like, did you check to see if their fries are gluten free and if they're fried in a separate fryer? And they were like, no, I just sort of assumed. And that right there, like I was crushed. I was crushed because in this sort of situation, my needs as a person who deals with multiple autoimmune conditions, who doesn't eat meat, doesn't like can't no longer like eat gluten and all this kind of stuff, like my own issues are my own, right? Like that's my job to look out for. But you would think that within like family systems and like where you're supposed to be safe, where you're living, like those people, if they're trying to do something for you, they would be like thinking about those things and like looking out for those things. And it's not that they don't care. They care in their own way. They just don't have the like capacity to like actually care about you in the way that you need. Which, I mean, some people could argue that they don't really care all that much or whatever, but like it's not something I want to think too deeply into. But it just reminded me that like within my family like system, I am not safe. Like I'm physically safe, but I mean like my well-being, my like my emotional well-being, and like just all of that. And when it comes to like actually considering me as a person, I am not safe, and that is a huge part of why I feel so like outcasted and like just not loved and not seen, because it's something like something as so simple as that. And I don't know, like it just, this in and of itself makes me want to cry. Like it's something I like obviously I like work through these things in therapy, but it's like it's a huge tie to like why I've struggled so much with like just life in general, and being able to show up and express myself and like be a person who like has needs and like advocates for those needs and stuff, because they're so often overlooked and just brushed to the side. Like when I went and like asked the person about it, they just had like a blank stare on their face like the entire time, like no real care that I gotten glutened. And I don't even think that this person like understands the severity of celiac disease, like how it's different from gluten intolerance. One, gluten intolerance is still in and of itself is something that should be taken seriously, but celiac is like way different. Like gluten intolerant people can handle wheat in some cases. I cannot handle wheat at all. I can't handle like any other. I cannot handle it. It like it again. It once again it attacks the lining of your small intestine, and it um leads to like malnutrition. And this is something that I just found out a year ago. So, no, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, around this time actually, um, I was like 26. So for the first 26 years of my life, this is something that I ingested. And I always had like sort of issues with it, but I didn't know that that's what it was, right? So I had been dealing with malnutrition for like the majority of my life, and I'm just now starting to really like heal from that, and know this one thing isn't just going to like plummet me, but it did like immediately, like it just, because I was already dealing with like histamine intolerance and like, you know, just a buildup of histamine and the inflammation that that's caused in my body. So then to also get hit with this, that's why it hit me so hard, because my system was already weak. Excuse me, sorry. So yeah, I spent the bulk of today sleeping. I'll likely spend the bulk of the next few days just sleeping, like just like ramming Benadryl into my system just to like really like push all the histamine out, so that my body then can like properly like deal with being glutened and healing from that. So I'm looking at like the next like week or two of just like recovery. And it just, some people might see this like as like no big deal, but those who like deal with celiacs and like other autoimmune conditions and whatnot, like actually I don't know if celiac is an autoimmune condition, whatever, you understand the severity of this and just like how just disappointing it can be, like when you're already trying, when you already feel like you're behind the starting line, and then you just get pushed back even further, right? Like I was making strides, I was doing well. So yeah, and it's Halloween, and I'm probably gonna spend the bulk of Halloween weekend just sleeping and healing my body, resting my body. Kind of not a big deal, but also like, I don't know, kind of sucks.